Hello everyone. I hope you had a great week. Um, like they could in the midterm. Today we are just going to continue what we were doing last week, basically. So let's do 40. A theater shows $15 tickets and $10 tickets. The theater. Okay, wait. First, I'm going to like when I read it, I will say okay, 50, like 15, $10. Okay. So, oops. 15 and 10. Now the theater seats a maximum of 85 people. Okay, 85 people max. And you need to set at least $950 and $950. So $950 from minimum. In tickets for each performance. Okay. Which system of inequalities can be used to find x, the number of 15 tickets, $15 tickets that can be sold, and y, the number of 10 tickets that can be sold? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make my analysis. First, for people, I will say x. So for each, let's do it another way so you guys can understand better. So I will say that $15 tickets will be X, 10 will be Y. So I I know how to do it, I just don't think you guys understand what I'm doing. Just basically, okay, I will say, okay, 15X, X being the amount of people that buy the $15 tickets, plus 10Y, Y being the amount of people that buy the the $10 tickets. So that's the reason I say 10 with Y. Is going to be equal the total amount of, like, if I'm saying that x and y um is like, if I'm talking about the dollars, I used to say that, wait a second, I cannot do that here, sorry, I can do that with geometry. So okay, if I'm talking about the money of like the 15 and the 10 is right actually include here, I will put the 950 here, because if X people buy the 10, the 15, Y people buy the 10, then we're going to get somehow to $950. Now, as you say here, I put mean, well, because it says at least, so it is saying us that it cannot be less than that. So I'm going to use the sign greater than or equal, because it cannot be less. So it will be greater than or equal than 150. Now, on the other hand, I will say, okay, as I said before, X will be the number of people who have 15, um like $15 tickets. Y will be the number of people who bought the $10 tickets. So if I say X plus Y, so the number of people who bought the $15 plus the number of people who bought the $10 will be the total amount of people, which in this case is 85 people. Now, as you see here, I put a max. So the maximum is 85. So it cannot be more than that. So the sign I will use is less than or equal than 85. And these are basically our two equations. So I like to actually solve the problem and look for the answer. So 18 plus 10 greater than 150. Yeah, it's not. And this doesn't have the equal. Well, we just I just cross out 3. So let me check with the other one. Yeah, it is the exact same one. So 8 is the answer. But if you want to, like, you can also go look at the equations and then decide what is your answer. Like if I'm like checking for this, I will say, okay, let's look first at the signs. I'll say, okay, it's maximum 85. So I know like by the maximum it cannot be more than 85, so it will be less than or equal because it cannot be more. So I'm gonna go to the 85 and I say, okay, less than or equal, less than or equal, less than, this is not because it doesn't have the equal, and it says maximum 85, so it could be 85, and says greater than, so this is not what we're looking for. And now I'm gonna look, in that case I get like I get left A and B. I'm gonna go to the 950, and I see here an add list. So an add list is like it means that it should be 950 or more because it needs to be at least 950. So I'm looking for a greater than or equal. So I go to the other two that are left. I see, okay, this is less than or equal. This is not what we're looking for, and we get left with A, which is our answer. Those are the two ways to do it. So next. During summer vacation, Ben decides to sell hot dogs and pretzels on a food cart in Manhattan. It cost Ben 50 cents for each hot dog. So I'm gonna say H for hot dog. So 50 cents for each hot dog and 40 cents for each pretzel. Okay, P for pretzel. 40 cents for each pretzel. He has only $100. Okay, his max amount of money, max, will be $100. Why his max? Because he has the $100. So he doesn't have 101. He says that he has $100. He has only $100. So he could spend, like, if for example, if you have $10 and you're buying like some like a slide of pizza, the slide of pizza is 6, you can buy it. If you try to buy a whole pizza, which could be, I don't know, 16, you cannot because you only have 10. That's basically. So if its max is 100, then it will be like any number greater than or equal to 100. That's what I think when I see this. Now, to spend each day on hot dogs and pretzels. Okay. He wants to sell at least 200 items. Okay. The items, the total will be 200. So the total hot dogs H plus pretzels P will be 100. That's the add list. You remember what I said before? Add list is 200 or greater. So 200 is the minimum. So it will be greater than or equal than 200. So it will be any number like this. Could be any number greater than 200 or like equal. So if H is the number of hot dogs and P is the number of pretzels, okay, as I said before, this is supposed to be P. Which of the following inequality will be a part of a system of inequalities used to determine the total number of hot dogs and pretzels? Okay. I think I just solved it, but let's just like this is what I did here. Total items is like clearly B, but let's analyze why first of all. So first, I'm going to look at A, and A just doesn't make sense because as you see here, he wants to sell at least 200 items. So if he wants to sell at least 200 items, it should be any number greater than 200 or like equal in this case. So A doesn't make any sense. So it's an instance crossed out. Let's look for the other one. He says that he wants okay, yeah. He says that he has only $100 and these are the prices. So if these are prices like the 50 cents and the 40 cents are prices, they should be paired with the $100. As I say here, it says a max of 100, so it will be less than or equal. So this gets out instantly, but as I was just saying, money needs to be paired with money. It's like when in physics you are, or in chemistry, or I don't know, if biology use it, but in science classes, you try to work with units like centimeters, meters, like you cannot additional like centimeter plus meters, so it doesn't make sense. Um, you need to convert first. That's more or less what is happening here in a weird sense. So if we're saying that's 50 cents and 40 cents, then we should compare with the 100. Also, they are asking for the number of the items. So the items will be 200 in total, and it will be the hot dogs and the pretzels, not the cost for them. So that's the reason, oops. So that's the reason this is completely out. And we still get with answer B, which I already explained before. So let's see, 42. So Mr. Carnegie will buy pencils and pens for his students for the next school year. Use the following information to determine the number of pencils and the number of pens he can buy. He can spend no more than $30 on pencil and pens. Okay, first let's give a variable for each one. They're saying X and Y. Okay. Oh, never mind. They said it. Pencil X. So pencil. It's already here. I'm not gonna write it again. Pencil X and pens Y. So he cannot spend no more than $30 on pencil and pen. So the sum okay, no, let's just get it that way. Okay, no more than $30 on pencil and pens. Pencil cost like 15 cents each, and pens cost 75 cents each. Okay. Um. Okay. This theory right here goes with the theory here because it's talking about dollars. And as I said before, dollars go with dollars. So I know that here. Pencils X. So here will be my 0.15. Y is pen. So here will be my 0.75. Okay, we have the first one. So it's basically determining based on your money how many you can buy of each. And now he needs to buy at least 3 times as many pencils as pens. So 3 pencils will be like pencil is X, so 3X. 3 pencils will be like at least is less than or equal, or are you, and for now I'm just gonna say equal, and then I'm gonna focus on the sign. 1 pen. So 3 pencils is equal 1 pen, so it's equal 1y. Now, as I was saying before, he wants to buy at least 3 times as many pencils as pens. So this at least will be that this is 3x, and it needs to be at least that number. So the minimum amount is that number. So it will be greater than or equal. Now, if I'm gonna write the y first, I'm just gonna flip the side like a mirror, and it will be y. This is pointing to the y, so then equal 3x, which is basically what is right here. So 1y, or just leave it blank, equal 3x, like less than or equal 3x. Now, uh, complete the system of inequality that can be used to determine the number of pencil x and the number, yeah, like basically, yeah, we did it. So I'm just gonna put the 1 because they have it here. And these were the options to fill up the spaces. That's it. Let's go to the other one. 43. Find the solution of the system of inequations shown below. Okay. There are a lot of ways to do this. If you have a calculator, is the easiest way. It's like a scientific calculator, is just plugging in. But there is I don't think you guys have one. So I'm just gonna show you like the easiest way for me to do it. So I have this. I have x plus y equal 1, and I have this. 2x minus 3y equals 17. So what I want to do is multiply my equation. I will say the easiest one, like in this case the first one, because it's the one that doesn't have like components in front, like doesn't have these numbers in front of the variables. So I'm either adding or subtracting. One of the two variables here gets canceled out. So what I will do is I'm going to multiply this whole equation here by 3. So it will be equal 3x plus 3y equal 3. So I'm multiplying 3 times x, 3x, 3 times y, 3y, 3 times 1, 3. And I get rid of this. Now I have these two. If I add them, I add the two equations, I will say 2x plus 3x is 5x. Now negative 3y plus 3y, they just cancel out. And then 17 plus 3 is 20. Now I'm just gonna divide both, like I have 5x equal 20. That's my answer. And now I want to solve for x, so I will divide both sides by 5. 5x divided by 5 is just x, and 20 divided by 5 is 4, so x equals 4. Okay, I go here. Yeah, I know this is gonna be my answer because this is the result I got. But just to make sure, let's solve for y. I have that I'm gonna use the easiest one, which is x plus y equal 1. X plus y equal 1. So if x is 4, I will say 4 plus y equal 1. I'm going to want to solve for y, so I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. 4 minus 4 minus 4 cancels out, and I get y equal 1 minus 3. We subtract each other and keep the sign of the bigger one, so we keep the sign of the 4, which is negative. 4 minus 1 is 3, so negative 3. And yeah, that's the same answer. Now, next, a system equation is given. Okay, if x comma y is the solution to the system, what is the value of x? Enter your answer as a fraction in the box. So this is pretty easy. If we want to solve for a specific value, x, for example, we want the y or the other variable that we are not looking for to cancel out. So I have this equation, y equal negative x minus 1. I have y equal to x plus 3. So what I want to do is this y to cancel out for this y. Doing that, I can just subtract. So I will say y minus y will be 0. 9x minus 2 to be 0 equal 9x minus 2 will be 7x. And then negative 1 minus 3, they both have the same sign because, like, negative 1 and then the minus here, so it will be minus 3, negative 3. So 1 plus 3 is 4, so minus 4. Now I will say I will add 4 to both sides, so I will get 4 equals 7x, because I get, like, the first one I get is 0 equals 7x minus 4. So when I add 4 to both sides, I just get 4 equals 7x. And now I'm going to divide by 7. So 7 by 7. So 7 divided by 7 is cancelled out. And then x equals 4 over 7, because we cannot divide that by the exact number. So this is our answer. And let's continue. What is the y value of the solution of this system of equation? Now, what we have is the y, like we want to know the y. So we want the x to cancel out. Or another way, if you don't like, if you see the x to cancel out kind of difficult, like here, it's not really difficult. It's easy to do, but it can be tricky. So if you see that the y's are easy to cancel out, you can just solve for the x and plug in. So in this case, it will be adding 3x minus 2 because different signs, so we get the minus, will be x minus y plus y, they just cancel out. And then 3 minus 12, like plus negative 12. We can design as the greater one, which is 12, and we subtract each other, so 12 minus 3 is 9. And we have the value for x. Now, I want to know the value of for y, so I will say negative 2 times negative 9 plus y equal 12 equal negative 12. So negative 2 times negative 9 will be 18 positive because they have the same sign. It will be 18 plus y equals negative 12. And now I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. So this cancel out. And then I get y equal. They have the same sign. So I'm just going to add them each other and keep the sign. So 12 plus 18 is 30. So the answer is y equal negative 30. Here it is. Oops. Yep, here it is. Now, you can also just multiply both sides with the another problem. So I just think that one is easier. Now for the system of equations shown, what is the value of a plus b? Okay. Actually, this one is very easy. You know, we don't need this. You want to know the... Oh, never mind. We don't need it. I'm sorry. So, never mind. Ignore what I said. So, like, the thing, we know that, like, here, this is easy to cancel out. We don't need to multiply anything. So, we just add them, and 3a minus 3a is just 0. So, never mind. And then b minus 4b. We can design as the greater one, which will be 4, and we subtract each other. So, 4 minus 1, or 4b minus b, just 3b. And then they both negative 6 and negative 12, they both have the same sign. They are both negative, so we keep the sign and we add each other. So 6 plus 12 is 18. Now we want to solve for b, so we have, this is just 0, so I'm gonna delete it. So I'm gonna divide by negative 3 in both sides. This cancel out, and b equal, and negative divided by negative, positive, because they are the same sign. So 3 divided by 18 is 6. Now I have 6. We want to know the value of a. So I'm going to use this equation. So 3 times a equal, 3 times a plus b equal negative 6. Now 3a, b is 6, so plus 6 equal negative 6. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. Oops. Cancel out. So 3a equal 6, negative 6 minus negative 6, minus 6, I'm sorry. They both have the same side, so 6 plus 6 is 12, and now I'm going to divide by 3. And this cancel out, and a equal different sign, so it's negative. 12 divided by 3 is 4. A equal negative 4. So I have a, I want to know a plus b. So it will be negative 4 plus 6. Different signs, so we keep the sign of the greater one, which is going to be positive, so normal, like a whole number, a natural number, sorry. And then 6 minus 4 is just 2, and that's our answer, 2. A plus b equal 2. Next one. What is the value of x in the solution to the system of equations below? So we want to know the value of x, so we can cancel, like we want to cancel out the value of y. What I would do is just multiply. Okay, I have this equation. 2x plus 6y equal negative 3, right? No, equal 3. Now x plus y equal -4. Plus y equal -4. We want to know for value of x, so we want to cancel y. So I'm going to multiply this side by 6. So I get 6 times x is 6x, 6 times y, 6y, and 6 times -4, we give the negative because they have different sign, and 6 times 4 is 24, so -24. Now I have this equation, and I have this equation. I could say 6x plus 6y equal -24 minus 2x plus 6y equal 3. So 6x minus 2x is 4x. 6y minus 6y is 0, so plus x for plus 0, or use plus nothing. So equal -24 minus 3. You know, this is just like it becomes negative because it's -3. So they have the same sign. We keep the same, add them. 24 plus 3 is 27. And now if we want to know the value for x, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. This cancel out and get that x equal -27 over 4 because they cannot divide in an exact number. So -27 over 4. That's our answer. Now let's continue. 48. Okay. Cassidy compares the cost of two different automobile repair companies. Okay. Company A charges 200 for 2 hours of work and 275 for 5 hours of work. Okay. Company B charges 200 for 3 hours of work and 350 for 6 hours of work. Which system of equation correctly correctly relates the hours of work x to the cost y? So first I will say that the hours of work is gonna be x and the cost is gonna be y. So it's gonna be x and y. So x, y, x, y. As you can see, in both cases, A and B, I have 2 points. So if I have 2 points of a line, I could have a slope. I could like figure out a slope. So I will say, okay, I'm going to calculate the slope. So M is slope M. A will be 275, so y2 minus y1, so 200, over x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 2. So it will be 275 minus 275. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 75 divided by 3 is 25. So that's the slope A. Now slope B will be a y2, which is 350, minus y1, 200, over 6 minus 3. So it will be 150. And then 6 minus 3 is 3. So 150 divided by 3 is 50. Okay, wait a second. 50. Now, let's see. But let's just analyze for a second. The slope of this of b is a lot greater than the slope of y. So we know that we will be more up, like something like this. And maybe a will be something like this, because it's still going up, because it's positive, but it's not going up as quickly as b. So let's look at that. And we can see that all the equations follow that pattern. So there is nothing to do yet. what we can do is actually create an equation from each for each line. So I will say, as I have like been explained before, like y minus y1 equal m x minus x1. So I'm gonna use an easy point for me is the 201. So I will say y minus 200 in this case a equal m, which in case a was 25, right? Yeah, 25 x minus 2, because that's the value of the x of the time work. So it will be y minus 200 equal 25x minus 50. Now I'm going to add 200 to both sides, and I get y equal 25x. And 200 minus 50 will be 150. So plus 150. So I know that A needs to intercept at 150 because this is the y-intercept number that is left behind, because the equation we know is y equal mx plus b, where b, the number after the plus or minus whatever sign it is the y-intercept. So I know that this cannot be a because of the y-intercept. I know that this cannot be a because of the y-intercept. And I know that this cannot be a, I'm sorry about it, because of the y-intercept. This is the only one that has the right y-intercept. So I know this is gonna be your answer. Like 8 is gonna be your answer. Give me 1 second. Sorry about it. It's just that normally we start at 5. And if we want to make sure we did it right, let's just calculate on equation B. So I have y minus y1 will be 200 equal m, which is 50, x minus x1, it's gonna be 3 hours, so 3 will be y minus 200 equal 50x minus 150. Now I add 200, it will be y equal 50x, and 200 minus 150 will be 50. So 50x plus 50. And I can see it is intersecting 50 right here. This was wrong because it's also not 50. This was wrong because this one was started 150, but this one is in 50. And now this is completely wrong as well. And yeah, that's how we do it. Now, part B. Give me 1 second. Part B. What is the correct interpretation of the intersection point? Okay, the intersection point. So let's first look at it. We see that the intersection point will be 4 hours approximately 250. The intersection point will be 4, 250, when 4 is the hours work and 250 will be the amount. 1 second. Amount paid. Okay, that's what we know. Let's go here. So for 4 hours of work, okay, both companies charge the same amount, 250. Okay, that's basically what I put there. Now for 4 hours of work, both companies charge the same amount, 300. This is wrong because we can see right here that the intersection point occurs at 250, not 300, which is right over here. So this is automatically wrong. Now, for 2.5 hours of work, both companies share the same amount, 225. This doesn't make sense because, as you can see here, for 2 hours of work, there is a big difference between the two. So that's completely false. And then for more than 4 hours, company A is more expensive than company B. Okay, first, that doesn't have to anything to do with the intercept, like for the meaning of the intercept, and it was not for more than 4 hours. As we can see in the graph, it is for exactly 4 hours. At 4 hours, they intercept and they have the same price at 4 hours, and then they start to change. So that was, oh, sorry, that was wrong since the beginning because it's not more than 4 hours. But then the other thing is that it is asking you the meaning for the y-intercept, like for the, I'm sorry, for the intercept of the two lines. It really has nothing to do with the intercept. It's just like a general evaluation you can make for a graph. Yeah, I think that's all for today because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. We're pretty much done. Like we still have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, like let's make it 5. So let's do the last one. 49. Aidan and his sister Ella are having a race. Aidan runs at a rate of 10 feet per second. Okay, rate of 10 feet per second. Ella runs at a rate of 6 feet per second. 6 feet per second. Okay. Since Ella is younger, Aidan is letting her begin 35th ahead of the start line. So 35th ahead. Okay. Let y represents the distance from the line and x represents the time elapsed in seconds. So first, something that I want you to guys connect is that every time you hear the word rate, like rate, this one right here is very important, you start thinking about a slope. So you say A for Aiden runs at a slope, like a rate, so it has a slope of 10 feet per second or 10. And now I will say that Ella or E runs at a rate or like at a slope because rate is a slope or a slope is a rate of 6. So M equals 6. Okay, now as you can see, we are running like they're having a race. They're running from a starting line. So the starting line will be right here. Like this is a starting line. Like the 0, like the point you start to measure. As you can see here, y represents the distance from the starting line. So if y start at the start I'm sorry, y starts at the starting line, okay? And another thing you can see is that Ella begins 3 feet ahead of the starting line. So Aiden stays just trying the like in the Y line, like the one that you like actually stand to start a race. And then he lets his younger sister go ahead and put 30 feet in front of the line. So if this one is the line, if this one is the starting line, and we are talking about 30 feet, we know that Ella is gonna be 30 feet over here. So Ella will be here, and then Aiden will be at the starting line. So we know that Aiden needs to be here. So we need 2 points, one over there and one in the starting line. So this one is not here, it's not happening here, it's not happening here, and we can see it perfectly here. So we know that this is our answer. Because we're looking for Ella at 30 feet ahead and then Aiden in the starting line. But if you just want to make sure and looking that the slope for Aiden, which is in the starting line, is 10, and I can see here 10, 10, like I will say 20 minus 10 equal to over 2 minus 1, which is going to be 10 over 1. So 10. And then the slope of Ella needs to be 6. So I will use this point and this point. I will say, oh, it's right here, it's the 0. So I will say 60 minus 3 over 5 minus 0. So it will be 3 over 5, which is actually 6. So this is, of course, our answer, but just to make sure. And now, how many seconds does it take Aiden to catch up Ella? So in this case, we're measuring distance from the starting point. So right here, the intersection point right here will be the time, like will be the moment in which they are both at the same distance from the starting line. So it will be, if this one is time, this will be this moment that Aiden actually catch up Emma. So I'm gonna see the line, and I will say, okay, it's about 7.5. So I will say that Aiden takes 7.5 seconds to catch up Emma, to get to the same distance the that Emma, like from the starting line, from 0. Yeah, that's actually all for today. I'll see you guys next week. I hope we can finish. Yeah, I hope we can finish this, or at least get closer to the end. So bye.